In the rich tapestry of ancient Indian spirituality, there existed paths that diverged from mainstream Vedic traditions. These were known as the Atamargika sects, or the eccentric paths of Shaivism. Among the most fascinating of these were the Vratyas, mysterious figures whose practices would profoundly influence later ascetic traditions. The Vratyas were individuals and groups in ancient India who practiced their own distinctive rites and beliefs. Historical texts depict them in various ways, as wandering ascetics, as military groups, or as a distinct ethnic or sectarian community. They were particularly prominent in regions like Magadha, where they maintained their unique identity. While the Vratyas were often portrayed as existing outside the Vedic belief system, the evidence suggests a more complex relationship. The Vedic Vratyashtoma chant indicates that these groups may have actually participated in Vedic rituals, blurring the lines between orthodox and heterodox practices. The Vedic texts themselves provide intriguing descriptions of these wandering mystical ascetics. They are referred to by terms such as Keshin and Vratyas, both emphasizing their most distinctive physical characteristic, long, matted hair. This connection to hair becomes significant when we consider that in the Shatarudriya, the deity Rudra himself is called Kapardi, meaning one adorned with matted hair. The Vratya Kanda section of the Atharva Veda offers a vivid portrayal of these practitioners. It describes the Vratyas as nomadic ascetics who roamed the land in states of intoxication, suggesting ecstatic practices that altered consciousness. Even more remarkably, the Tandya Brahmana declares Daivavai Vratya, which translates to the Vratyas are divine, elevating their status to a sacred level. What emerges from these ancient descriptions is a picture of groups engaged in ascetic and ecstatic practices that set them apart from conventional society. Their wandering lifestyle, their altered states of consciousness, and their distinctive appearance all point to a radical approach to spiritual practice. The historical significance of the Vratyas extends far beyond their own time. We can reasonably infer that these ancient practitioners served as precursors to the later evolved eccentric ascetic sects that would become prominent in Indian spirituality. Groups such as the Kapalikas, the Kaulas, the Aghoris, and the Nagasadhus all share characteristics with the ancient Vratyas: the emphasis on extreme ascetic practices, the use of intoxicants for spiritual purposes, and the adoption of appearances and behaviors that challenge social norms. Understanding the Vratyas helps us comprehend the diversity and complexity of ancient Indian spiritual traditions. They represent a path that honored ecstatic experience, bodily transformation, and practices that existed at the margins of society, yet were recognized as possessing divine qualities. Their legacy continues in the various Shaivite ascetic traditions that persist in India today, reminding us that spirituality has always encompassed both the orthodox and the eccentric, the conventional and the radical.